G'day guys, today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been looking forward to personally for a long time, and it's a rundown of my 2023 Ford Ranger Raptor. Now I've owned this vehicle for about 6 months now and it's been nothing but impressive. So that's the big girl in the background, and I just thought it's probably good to get out there. I haven't seen too many builds on these vehicles yet. Obviously there's a fair bit more than what I've done to my vehicle that you can do, but it'll give you guys an idea of how you can get yourself set up to do my style of driving, which is, you know, touring, camping, forward driving, pretty much getting where most people won't go, and showing you guys a little bit about the vehicle. So I bought this vehicle 6 months ago, and it was around, what was it? It was around a 9-month wait to get the vehicle. So it took a little bit to do to get here, but we're here now, and I've started the build 6 months ago and I've only just finished up. Not that you can ever say that a build's ever finished, because those who own cars or have had four-wheel drives before will know that they are a money pit and you just keep building. So when I bought the vehicle, I opted for the bonnet protector and the weather shields, and that is something that I recommend you all get because it's been amazing. It's stopped a lot of rocks and stones. As soon as I got the vehicle, the first thing I did was put my antenna on, and I hit the boys up at Northwest Off-Road to do a bonnet mount. Get that one in for me, put it on there, and I'll show you how that's mounted very shortly at the end of this video inside the cab, because I sort of did it a little bit different, but it's very hidden from where where you can't really see it, whereas I've seen a lot of people mount them and you can find the hand pieces pretty easy. But anyway, so when I got the vehicle, I didn't have this little machine here, the camper trailer, so I had to put the rooftop tent on top. So I bought the Rhino rack, the Pioneer, so just a flat one with the backbone system on there as well. And that was something that I really enjoyed having because I was able to keep it pretty slimline. There wasn't much noise. The only noise you got was from the roof rack, but it wasn't nothing that I'd say was overly disturbing about the vehicle. Next thing I got, and I was pretty keen to get, was a canopy. So I ended up going with a Maxliner Venture canopy. So if you haven't heard of them, definitely get on there and have a look at them, because they're, in my opinion, probably the best canopy on the market. Obviously the ARB Ascent canopy is an exceptional canopy, but this one has a couple little pros over the other Ascent canopy, and I'll just go through that now as to what I think's better in this than the ARB canopy. So starting off, the window openings are a bit larger than the ARB Ascents, so they go around in a nice shape, which gives you a bit more access to the interior, you know, stuff that you got in there. Obviously I've got a fridge in there, you'll see the inside in a minute. Now they also have a 2-stage locking, so first stage is half shut. There you go, gets air in there for your animals if you've got any in there, and then you can undo it, and if you shut it harder, that's properly shut now. The other thing that I think is better than the ARB Ascent canopy is the fact that there are no handles anywhere around it. So the ARB one comes with a little handle here, nothing major obviously. The side windows are the same, but yeah, they just got no handles on them, which I kind of like the sleek design of. Personally, obviously it's a preference. The other good thing is that this is about $1,000 cheaper. I pretty much hit up Maxliner and just said, look, what have you got in stock that I can take a hold of pretty quickly? And they said they had this one. You can get it in the single tone, so same as the car the whole way through, but I went with the dual tone. You know, bit of difference. It doesn't really matter, honestly. No extra cost either way, but it blends in really well with the roof rack on the top of here as well. So going into that was the next thing I bought, was the Maxliner Slimline roof rack mount. So it costs an extra, I think it was $100 from memory, to get that on there as well. Now the canopy sits pretty well flush with the cab, as you can see there, which means that when I put the backbone system on and that Slimline from Maxliner, it was pretty well flush up there. For myself personally, that's something that I really was making sure that the canopy I got was, because I do put a lot of longer stuff on top, and I don't like having that, you know, dip down or dip up, whichever way it goes, depending on the canopy you get. So that was something that really impressed me. On the top one up there, I've only got the jerry can holders, so that's got pretty much no weight on top. and then this one here has only got the max tracks, but I will be putting a solar panel on there, and that'll be used to charge my dual battery system. So after I got the canopy installed, I also got the boys down at Northwest Off-Road. I'll just open this up. I got the boys at Northwest Off-Road to put in a set of drawers for me. So that was something that I was quite excited for, and we've only just got it done. So I've taken it on an adventure. As you can tell, it's a bit dirty. Now, this is probably the best setup for myself. Again, you guys might want something different depending on how you cruise around. But for myself, I wanted a full size and a mid size or half size, and both of them have roller floors, so I can move either one of them in and out whenever I want. Easy to access, you know, it's all nice and simple. Full length drawers, so I'll show you that there and chuck that in there. So they are quite long. They go all the way back, and it's what suits me. You know, you might not need all this space, but I personally thought that's something that I need when I'm traveling, a bit of space. This one here has just got all my recovery gear in it, chainsaw, shovel, you name it, it's in there. The boys down there also did a really excellent job of the dual battery system. So your dual battery gets mounted in there, so that's it all in there. So it's hidden away, not in the way of anything, and the fridge gets plugged in up there. So I wanted something that I could chuck everything into that I needed. You know, that one will be used for clothes, that one's used for recovery gear, but then also something that if I want to pull everything out, you know, I've just got space in there, and that was the idea behind it. So that was awesome. I was really happy with that, and I can't thank the boys at Northwest Off-Road enough for what they've done. They put the red arc system through and everything. Took them a couple of days to do, and it was nice and simple. So if you're not from Tasmania, you wouldn't know who they are, but if you are and you're up the northwest side, I'd definitely recommend hitting up Steve Wood from Northwest Off-Road, because he'll sort you out nice and good with all the stuff that you need for your car. This side is empty, so there is nothing in there. I may put a compressor in there, but you know, that's all stuff to do down the track. Another thing that I've done with the vehicle, so essentially I have nearly 200 kilos on the back, which meant that it sagged a lot. Someone did pick up in a post I did not long ago that there was a sag. So anyway, I need to get that corrected, because when I was doing a bit of, it was only light off-roading, you'd say, the tow bar did hit the ground a couple times, and especially when you're putting a trailer on the back, which is, you know, another 100 kilos, probably 200 by the time it's loaded up, it does sag a little bit. So I had to get something sorted out, and I was going to go with springs, but I decided I wanted something with a little bit more adjustability in it, and I ended up going with Boss air suspensions. So you can get them straight from Boss, that's no hassle. They didn't have them in stock when I needed them, so I went to My Tough 4x4, and within a couple of days I had the air suspension here, and I put it in myself. I'll show you now where and how that looks on the vehicle, because it was a hard thing to find. Not many people were doing the air suspension and showing the photos of what there was and how it mounted, but it was something that was pretty easy to do on your own. I think I did it in it was a couple of hours, and yeah, had no hassles with it at all. So I'll just show you now what it looks like underneath. So that is it set up there on one side, and it's the same on the other. So it just straps onto your axle there, and then it goes over your chassis rails. So they got like a bracket that goes over it. Give me 2 seconds here and I'll show you. So you've got the, probably in there is better. There you go. So you got your bracket chassis in there. Same on both sides, then you run your lines. I just ran them through the chassis rail and brought them out to under here, and away you go. I do keep a little bit of extra hose in there just in case something happens, but that's pretty much it. So the car's been on a lot of adventures, and honestly I can't fault it. The only thing that you'll probably notice about the canopy that probably myself I'd change is this pad here controls all 3 windows. So you actually got to be on this side in order to get the other side window open, which does suck sometimes, especially when my awning's on the other side and I'm set up camp. I got to come around here and flick it. But honestly, that is such a minor issue compared to how useful this canopy is. Now the last thing I will show you guys is where I've mounted my UHF. Please excuse the mess because I've only just gotten back from an adventure. It's mounted under there, so it's under the steering column, and it doesn't affect the steering column going up and down, in or out, nothing. And then I've ran the cables all the way through here. That all just pops off and then mounts into there, which you're not going to be able to see. But there, if you open that up, there is a little, I don't know what you call, like a little cover, a little flap that's in there. You pull that out and you'll see that there's like an orange cord. That is where your manual handbrake override is, for if your parking brake gets stuck. Now just in here, I can't really show you, but under the bonnet there is a big grommet. It's a double walled grommet. That's how I got through the firewall. It was quite a mission to do it, so my recommendation, I don't know, you know, I'm not an auto electrician, so I don't really know the proper way to do it. What I did was I got a bit of bar, which was about 16 mil thick, cut it into a point, jammed that through, then fed my cable down, pulled the bar all the way through and off. So that was how I wired it into there. Very, very easy, but honestly, this is probably my favorite setup. I've had a four-wheel drive setup before, and I just love this vehicle. So I recommend that you guys who haven't got your vehicles and you're thinking, you know, oh, I can't be bothered waiting, do wait it out. It honestly is worth it. I waited 9 months, and I actually work for Ford themselves. I am a sales executive there, so I can tell you that the times to get vehicles are not getting any worse, but at the same time, depending where you are, they're not getting any better either. For us, we are seeing them come up a little bit better, which is good, but 100% wait out for the rigs, because they are awesome machines. And yeah, you can't go wrong. Honestly, you really can't go wrong. The only thing that you will notice is a lot of fuel consumption, but that's all right. When you're running something with the amount of power and the amount of capability, you just don't really worry about it. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I will be posting a fair few more videos involving the adventures I go on, showing you the capabilities of this vehicle. But at the moment, so far, I've put it through a lot of tough situations and it has prevailed. I've been stuck a couple times, but that was pretty much, even tractors wouldn't have been able to get through that, so we had to get pulled out there. But apart from that, it's an extremely capable vehicle, and I highly recommend you guys keep yourselves keen if you're waiting for them, and if you've got them, set them up the way you want them and go from there. So all up, I reckon I'd say that the whole setup's probably cost me, you know, extra 9 grand on top to get it to this